Ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Masters of Marketing. In this episode, I have a very special guest. His name is Ahmad Haffar. He's known as the voice of Dubai. If you live in Dubai and the UAE, you probably, most definitely have heard his voice somewhere. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Tune in and enjoy the show. Ahmad Haffar, welcome to Masters of Marketing.
Hello, Basim. Thank you for having me. And indeed, what you have done is mind-boggling to multiple extents because marketing is such a vague term. So let's set the table straight. Unlike this one, which is a little bit to the right, but we can also set it straight. Yeah, you guys are gonna enjoy this.
OCD
you're gonna,
as well.
You're gonna enjoy this. Oh, very much.
Oh, yeah?
Literally blame my mother. Like, it's just genetics. Yeah. Genetics. You can't run away from it.
Welcome to my world.
Perfection.
Ahmad,
Yes.
Probably everyone from the age of maybe 10 to about 70 have heard your voice somewhere.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Probably.
And they don't know who is behind that voice. So I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. What's your story? The elevator pitch one, not the 2-hour one. The elevator pitch one, because your story is a very interesting story. Try.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's turn this into a 1 minute or less reel. You ready? You guys ready? 3,
Yes.
2, 1. Name is Ahmad Haffar. People know me by my voice, but it's not actually what I do in my life. I am a school dropout by the age of 15 who did not finish brevet, second, or even has a university degree, who speaks fluent French, taught himself English, who's been a musician since the age of 8. At the age of 16 or 15, he liked a girl who was Russian Lebanese, wanted to kiss her, and she ended up becoming his first kiss. The way he got the kiss, even though she was way out of his league, is because he taught her guitar, but Ahmad never learned music. So how did he teach her music? He taught her how to feel an instrument. What started off as a guy trying to get a kiss from a very pretty girl in class ended up being an entire technique that I taught to multiple people, made money from it, and then later on one of my students went to an audition that I ended up winning, which I wasn't even meant to be there. Ended up being from Milham Zain and Viviana Murad. Later on I got picked up by Jean-Marie Rieshi. I ended up becoming the composer for Nancy Ajram, Elisa Haifawabi, and others by the age of 17. Then at 17 and a half, my dad realized that music is a real thing. I got kicked out of music school for a reason. I got kicked out of real school for a reason. I tried doing IT in a mehaniya, which is called LIT. I also failed miserably. And then at the age of 17 and a half, I ended up being involved in a car accident where my 2 best friends passed away. I was the only survivor. I was in the back seat. The driver, Ahmadi Muhammad Laumar, passed away. Bless their souls. Still my best friends. Love them more than the world. Then I came to Dubai right after because my mom did not want me to be in Lebanon. I was in a coma for a month and 3 days. My heart stopped for 40 seconds, came back to life. Literally, true story. Came to Dubai, basically, literally reborn, chosen by God. You call it whatever you want. I ended up becoming an employee in a company doing music playlists. After a few months, I got fired. Thank you for firing me, made my career. I discovered something called sonic branding, started selling it, became a millionaire by the age of 23, bought my first company, bought my first Ferrari at 25. Then I discovered my voice, started selling it as part of my company to save money because business is a different thing than becoming an artist. And I became extremely known for my voice and my music. And I'm the first person to take my voice all the way up for brands that suit it, then all the way in the middle, and then all the way down. And that is entirely by mistake. I just wanted to save some money for my company. And as of today, I run and operate an audio production house, the first school of its kind that teaches voiceover and speech and communication for kids and adults. We make people's careers a reality. And I do stand-up comedy, got my own show on Stars Play. I'm teaming up with a very big streaming platform that has a big N at the start. I can't tell you who it is, wink, wink. Next year, don't know if it's happening, but inshallah it will happen because I deserve it because I'm really funny. And other than that, I host events. I have done more things than anyone can begin to imagine. But at the end of the day, I love people and money doesn't matter. Now I have it, so I get to say that I mean it. And yeah, made my mom's life infinitely better. And my favorite thing in the world is telling my mom, you don't have to worry about money for the rest of your life. And done. A little bit long, sorry.
2.5 minutes.
It's a long story.
You want to do it again in 1 minute?
Should I try?
Yalla.
Yalla.
No, I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding.
No, I don't mind. Let's go. I'm literally ready.
I'm kidding, man.
You sure?
Akid.
Okay. I was kidding, but I was ready. Let the camera know. I'm a high intensity human being who is very high intensity by no, I'm not on anything. This is me. I'm just very high intensity, and that's what makes me who I am. Some people like it, some people don't. Yeah.
What are some of the, what do you call them? Some of the,
What?
not the songs, the
Sonic branding.
the
Brand identity music.
So what are they're not songs, they're not tracks that people know you of? What are they called?
They're called Sonic branding, literally, or the brand identity for music. Or you have the music that I did for Arabic artists
like
when I was young.
Is it a jingle as well?
No.
Okay.
Jingle, you buy a Toyota. Sonic branding, you buy a Bugatti. Very big difference.
So let's say the Emirates song, is that called Sonic branding?
Well, that's a bit confusing. So the guy who composed that, I forgot his name. I think Stefano or something. He's American. Lovely guy. I looked him up. He's a known composer in the US, mainly for TV and film. I wouldn't consider it a sonic branding because as soon as you hear that, like it's an extremely well written piece. Honestly, genius, that guy. But it's not a sonic because even though it is part of their DNA, it's a bit of a experience piece. So what I would call it is that I would call it part of their sonic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you listen to, like, for example, say Etihad, that 4-second melody is what built the entire sonic branding system for Etihad. That is a sonic branding. So sonic branding essentially starts from the 4-second signature melody and then is adapted to infinitely longer versions and diverse versions. That is technically what sonic branding is.
Okay. So what is some of the sonic brandings? What are the most famous sonic brandings you've created?
I've done a lot. I would say
Top
anywhere.
3.
Oof, I mean, I've
Top
literally
5.
have 100. I mean, I've got 100.
Because I want you to say them. So how many do you want to say?
Sure. Well, I would say Rixos Hotels is a big one because Rixos, the 5-star hotel
does it
chain.
go?
Then actually, no, I'll show you. Here you go. I'll just call Rixos and let it play. Isn't that way cooler than just saying it? There you go. So what's amazing about Rixos is that it's, I did the project in Dubai, but it's adapted globally. So every single Rixos, whether in Germany, Turkey, wherever they have one,
Nice.
it's the same music on the phone, in the lobby, literally everywhere adapted. And so at the moment I'm calling Rixos the Palm. I can call any Rixos in UAE and beyond, same thing. Here you go.
Welcome to Rixos the Palm.
That's it. It's just the ta-na-na-na-na-na. And then of course I did much longer versions that are designed for the phone, for the lobby, for the rooms, blah, blah. So that's one. Second one would be, of course, insurance market, especially Dubai based. If we're going to talk about Dubai, because some of my work is famous globally, some of it in Dubai or in Saudi. Insurance market is extremely famous.
How does it go?
Insurance market. So it's not my voice. I'm one of the voices, but the voice behind is a guy called Guy. Literally, that's his name. And he was recommended to me. I loved his voice, and he got basically my vision through, and he did that. So that one is extremely well done. And then the third one, who do I want to give exposure? Well, they're already very famous. I would say, I'll tell you what, I would go with Barakat. I just love it too much. It doesn't matter how known it is or not, but something about that fresh juice brand. And every time I hear the Barakat, it just puts me in such a good mood.
Yeah.
It puts everybody in a good mood. So say these are, I wouldn't say the most famous top 3, but some of the most known. Because if you go to, like, for example, Kellogg's, the cereal brand, that's famous globally.
Yeah.
You hear me in the US, you hear me in anywhere on the planet. It's the Kellogg's, everybody knows it. So basically, it's just a little tiny piece of music which I sell for a lot of money that makes a brand very famous globally. So the first iteration of sonic branding was, of course, McDonald's Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, which was done by complete mistake in 1994. I did not make it because I was born in 1994, so totally not me. I wish though. It's like my mom's like, it's a boy, ba-da-ba-ba. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it is an inspiration, that one. So I would say sonic branding has been done by multiple people. I'm not the only guy in the region, but I'm by far the biggest one. So yeah. And I got it right. I figured it out. It's not because other people, they offload it, like, you know, say production houses, whatever, they offload it to multiple composers.
Yeah.
And those composers, you know, have their input and blah, blah, blah. But when you want Hans Zimmer to make a movie, you sort of call Hans Zimmer to do Hans Zimmer. So when you call Ahmad Haffar, you're calling Ahmad Haffar. So I'm more bespoke, more on point, and because I sort of can read people, I can also really understand brands well. And if you look at my actual portfolio on Sonic branding, you'd see how absolutely insane it is. Not because I've done it, but because I've done it while running multiple businesses and doing a million things. Sonic branding is my little vacation, but it became my favorite thing to do. So yeah. Sorry if it's too much, but
Yeah, no,
it's complicated.
And you have a nickname, right?
Well, I wouldn't call it a nickname, but I am known as the voice of Dubai, and that's a real thing. So yeah.
Why? Why you call that?
So it started with the media initially by Golf News in September 2021. And at first it started because of my voice, but then it got adapted because of my story, my entrepreneurship, my history, and basically as a representative for those who are young and aspiring to do incredible things in this country and beyond. And mainly because you hear my voice everywhere. But of
Yeah.
course, I'm not the only voice you hear. There's a lot of voiceovers.
Of course.
But I'm sort of the first guy to innovate on that product, innovate on the Sonic product, open up my very first school, empowering people with Sonic branding, empowering people with voiceover. So when you combine all of that, certain people who I cannot mention, who are, let's say, shot callers, have decided that I am the voice of Dubai. And it's not just a nickname anymore. So yeah, I've got it written somewhere. Is all I can say.
Where?
I can't really tell you.
Oh, okay.
Like legally, I can't tell you.
Okay. What is Sonic branding?
It is the ability to help a brand not just grow, but be like, so my last name is Haffar, right? It means digger in Arabic. And funny enough, I never knew why that's my last name. But now as an adult, it's because I've realized it's because I have the ability to dig my music into people's brains, literally, on a multi-million level. And yeah, sonic branding is the creation of a piece of sound that is utilized as a psychological Hiroshima, a psychological nuclear bomb that forces people to think of a brand immediately and instantaneously and relate to it. So that when you think of insurance, you think of insurance market, you think of juice, think of barakat, you think of fashion, you think of brands for less, or whatever that I've done for a lot of these brands. It is not something simple. And a lot of it does not have a voice. I'm just naming the ones with a voice because it's easier to recite. But if you look at, say, for example, Saudi German Hospital, it has my voice at the end, but it's the ta-na-na-na-na-na-ta-ta-ra, Saudi German Hospital, caring like family. Even though when I call them, I still wait 15 minutes online, waiting to hear myself as someone picks up. It's weird. Have you ever been put on hold to your own music? Not fun. So yeah, that's what sonic branding is, man. It's helping a company grow in an exponential manner. And it takes years to work. Sometimes it doesn't work just as well, but it is equally the client's responsibility in utilizing correctly, listening to the team behind it, listening to the incredible agencies like you who are helping them implement the content correctly. And then if it is done right, and recently in the past 5-6 years, I've been pretty much getting it right, it changes the entire ROI of a brand and it grows its skeleton, man. It grows its DNA from zero. Sonic branding is psychological bomb utilizing sound. And you can't just make a cute little jingle and call it a day. That's not what that is. The process of sonic branding alone is extremely thorough. The methodology behind it and beyond. It's incredible. It's phenomenal. And yeah, I have fun doing it, but that's because I've been doing it for 10 years almost. So I know exactly what I do, what I'm doing now. Like, for example, I just delivered Shumart today for Centerpoint. أعزائي متسوقي Centerpoint. Yeah, that's also me you're hearing in the shops. I just delivered the music for Shumart, and you're gonna see the effect of what I've done for years to come for Shumart. Like, it's really insane how high it takes a company. So that's Sonic. I'm extremely passionate. Man, there's nothing like it. And people are like, oh, can I have that recognizable for a second? It's not about recognizable. Who the hell are you as a brand? Who the hell are you? Why are you? What makes you so important? We sell the same thing every. What makes you special? What makes you special? شو يعني?
So not every brand can, well, they can have, every brand can have sonic branding, but not every brand should have sonic branding. No.
That is an oxymoron question from my end. I'll tell you why. The way I answer it is a bit hard because it's not that they shouldn't have it. It depends on what they need it for and what they're planning on doing with it. Like, for example, I've done certain B2B brands that you will never hear their sonic branding or their corporate piece, which are like different adaptations. People call them long versions, which I think is very stupid, but it should be defined for the purpose of it. And those companies, you may not ever hear their sonics. But imagine you're a shot caller in a meeting and you're about to invest $230 million into a certain sector or whatever. And this particular company is responsible for the transformation. And you're trying to reel in that client. When you're giving them that corporate video, to give them a corporate video embedded with custom made music is great. It's a great start. Sonic branding, creating an entire audio system, a sonic system. Why is it sonic? Because it's literally picking it up. When you create that sonic system, and from that you have a corporate piece that's designed for corporate videos, instead of making a video and scoring it, you create the video based on the score you already have. So you're flipping the table. So the effect of this video will be increased due to the fact that the music that was created represents the brand perfectly. So it paves the way for the creative outcome of that particular TVC or corporate video or showcase video, or it could be whatever. And when you create those assets through and because of a sonic branding, you're already giving the client not just more value, but you're giving them a bigger chance to fight. Because people relate to sound, people relate to emotions. Excuse mon français aujourd'hui. But really, people don't understand what sonic branding really is. You know, like most of the clients I speak to, I mean, now I'm at a certain level where sort of nobody can say no to me, which is I'm very grateful for. I don't get told no to. I get told we can't afford you. That's what I get told. But I don't get told no to. When they look at everything and the methodology behind it, and obviously the effect of what I've already done around the Middle East is literally phenomenal. It's undeniable. It's a fact. And as someone who's dedicated almost 10 years of his life with no vacations and no traveling around and having fun with my friends in Ibiza, like, imagine if I'm not at this level. Like, people think I'm way above. No, I'm not above anybody. I'm not better than I'm not better than you. I'm not better than anyone. But professionally, yeah, I am. Where my mind is just it's completely different. That's why I can get away with creating something as silly as insurance market. But how many millions of dollars has it made them? And I say this publicly. Avinash is a friend. He's an owner. I'm not saying he wasn't rich before he met me, but he's a little bit more. Right, buddy? Right, buddy? You like the new Lamborghini, right? I'm waiting for mine. Actually, no. I'll take another Ferrari. That's serious, though. A lot of the clients I go to, I don't promise them the lands and the treasures. I explain to them realistically what can be used.
How much does sonic branding cost?
That's a very hard question to ask. Look, there's a lot. You know how everything has package? Look at Netflix. You've got the basic, you've got the whatever medium, you've got the premium, right? They offer you everything. Same thing with sonic branding. There's different packages, but at the same time, it depends on the brand. What do they need? So you can be like, okay, I'll give you the 4 seconds radio jingle, which is designed from the sonic, not a separate jingle. I'll give you what's it called? A song for the call center, designed for the call center. I'll give you a corporate piece and a bunch of social media pieces and maybe a few adaptations. You can call that somewhat of a full package, but I go way deeper into that. Not just the UI and UX of an application. See, in today's world, a friend of mine who is an incredible human being and one of the biggest sonic branding guys on the planet, his name is Laurent. And Laurent, we were on a meeting and he started telling the client, he said, clients today have infinitely more verticals to adapt sound to than ever before. I stood there and I'm like, he is so absolutely correct. He is completely correct. The way that sonic branding can be implemented today is very different than before. So you have these packages, but then you have other stuff. Like, for example, who owns it? Do I own it as the composer or as the production house? Or does the client want to own it in perpetuity? That also affects the price. How many times do they want me to retry? For example, if I am onto something amazing, I go to a client and I'm more than happy to tell him, you are wrong, I am right. What I've done is right, your opinion is wrong. I don't care if you're paying me X amount, I really don't care. Whether you give me this 500,000 dirhams or not, I'm not gonna die without you, I'm good. You know what I mean? So the pricing, I would say, for me personally, I start at around $50,000. That's me. But then you've got local production houses here who are willing to do it for a quarter of that price. But that's just because of who I am. You want sonic branding? You want sonic branding done right? You go to Ahmad Haffar. It's Ahmad, but I like saying Ahmed. It's nice. But yeah, it's every person's different. But for me, I know that there's these guys in Jordan. They're good. Some people send me their videos because they're trying to sell the idea of sonic branding, which is good for them. Honestly, best of luck. But what they charge as a full package, I charge double as just the 4 seconds. So it really depends on who, and it's all about positioning. So yeah, man.
Good stuff. We shift discussion a little bit about yourself and your business. And the first question would be, how did you start marketing yourself?
I started marketing myself by doing such a good job that people couldn't not look at it. The first time I got on a magazine cover, it was Arabian Business. I was 26. I was just referred. And I still remember the person who put me on the cover told me more than 5 times that people pay $50,000 for this cover, and he's giving it to me for free because I deserve it. I literally remember verbatim him telling me that. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't have $50,000. I spent them on my businesses. And yeah, basically my work, man. Look, people go to social media to discover people. They Google people, blah, blah, blah. For me, everybody knows me. When you talk to about music or voice, you're talking almost 10 years of consistency here. That most of it has not been changed. Most of it is still adapted to this day on a daily basis. I'm not talking UAE. I'm talking Middle East and beyond. Sure, I admit, in the past 5 years,
How did you start?
I started by, well, quite literally sitting with a friend of mine and being a freelancer, being almost 20 years old, and having a visa that my employer at the time, who fired me, who's a good friend, by the way, I say fired me too, for dramatic effect. He loved me and I love him. But basically, when he's good friends with my brother, my biggest brother who lives here. I'm the youngest in the family. In case you can't tell, I'm spoiled as he called my brother and he's like, your little brother's like, what the f-? Like, he shows up to work 2 hours late. He leaves whenever he wants. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I didn't survive a 1 in a billion accident to sit down and do whatever. I know I have more in me. I didn't compose for Nancy Ajram when I was 17 years old and literally publicly on live TV get her to kiss me on my cheek so I can sit down and get paid 6,000 dirhams a month. That's not happening. I was making more money when I was a kid. So long story short, a friend of mine had a coffee with me and literally told me, why don't you make sonic branding? Literally. And I'm like, what the f- is that? And after I looked it up, that was my career. So that's actually how I started. That's the true story of Ahmad Haffar. I just decided to make music for brands. And the reason why is because I was too afraid of making my own music, thinking I'm bad.
How did you do it? How did you get the first sonic branding project?
This is where the people's part comes in. This is where the marketing comes in, the masters of marketing part of it. Basically, I identify a single person that I want to talk to. Say you own Igloo, right? So say I want to meet Basim from Igloo. I find out that, let's say, Basim's wife or Basim's girlfriend or Basim's sister or Basim's brother goes to a certain gym. Okay. And I find out that information however I find it out. I would literally go and sign up at that gym and open up a conversation with the closest person to the person I need to reach. And then I would befriend them 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without even opening up the subject of the other thing. And as soon as I feel like the time is right, I would ask them a very innocent question if they know X person and X company, in which naturally the first reaction is the person they know. And that's literally how I made my career. I can talk about this now because this was like 8-9 years ago. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do this today as a 30-year-old. That's pathetic. But I wouldn't say pathetic, but that's not me anymore. But when I was 20, 21, broke as oh yeah, that was me. Proudly, that was me.
Yeah. That's how we did it. And from there, you did good work. People started referring you to others.
No, hell no. No, I just had to get rejected 1,000 times.
Okay.
So, you know, when someone just doesn't stop and no matter how much someone sits them, looks them in the eye and tells them you're not good enough, they just keep going, like in the movies. Yeah, real life.
Yeah.
Right here. Genuinely.
Just tell me about that.
I have people who dislike me because I'm an energy bomb and a lot more than I am now. If you think I'm energetic now, oof, you haven't met 25-year-old me or 21-year-old me. You have no idea. But basically, as my mom said, when my car accident happened, قلبت شقب مخي. So a switch got, my brain got switched a little bit and switch TV. You guys know that, right? So it's a lot, yeah. So they're sonic. So basically, what happened is of course, I got hurt, I got bothered, I got pissed off. But as soon as I landed the first one and I made almost 50,000 dirhams out of it, I'm like, please say no. Give me more reasons to. And then I would play it very smart. Like, say someone doesn't like me, I would literally still add them, say, on LinkedIn. It was the easiest thing to get accepted on. And then from LinkedIn, I would literally just go through their and try to find out what they like. Like, for example, there's a certain Russian man, who I cannot name, of course, who is the director of marketing or head of marketing of a certain amusement park. And I really wanted to make the music for said park. And long story short, I ended up finding out what his favorite AC/DC album was. I ordered the original one from discogs.com. It cost me a lot of money. I got it, found out where he lived, specifically on the Palm, went to his villa, knocked on the door, and just to sit down with me for 5 minutes, he gets his favorite album, original copy, like actual or like worth thousands of dollars, which is also rare because I know people who know people, blah, blah, blah. And that's how I got my 5 minutes. And that 5 minutes transcended to a job where I made almost 20, 30 times X on my investment of the album. So it's just started off from that perspective, because when you have nothing to lose, you just can go for it, right? So that was the part of consistency. And just like a lot of people found me very eccentric, a lot of people like that. So those were the people who genuinely pushed for me. Like, have you ever met a marketeer or someone selling a product who literally took a hunting rifle, a real hunting rifle, to a meeting, Dubai, licensed, وحياة Allah. Also, Ma Dubai police, نرحب بكم. Their voice, I've did their song, so don't worry about it. I know the guys. Don't even try. So, literally took an actual hunting rifle to, of course, completely dismembered, dismantled. It's not live. And it's like, the pellet one. It's not like the bullets or anything. It's the pellet one. And obviously it's completely unloaded. Took it to an actual legitimate meeting where the actual legitimate CEO was sitting in the middle with a massive team and one of the biggest retail companies in the Middle East, and sat there and asked people after his speech, which they found very cute, asked people, what do you think is in this big black box? That clearly looked like a guitar or a keyboard or some, and that was every single person's answer. In which I told them, no, it's a tool of precision, just like me. You hire me, all I need is one shot and I'll get you a bullseye. And to prove it to you, I literally opened it. I was 22 years old. Can you imagine the balls I had to have to open up an actual weapon in an office next to the CEO, who is a literal billionaire? And none of this is. That's my story. And I got away with it.
So you did it this way. So you...
A little bit spicy today. Oh my God, spicy interview. Alhamdulillah.
Okay. So you were a hustler and you didn't take no for an answer. Survival mode. You liked it. You had a lot of energy.
Loved it.
That's how you got your business.
Still love it.
How do you market yourself today?
Today, it's a very different person, of course. With everything comes maturity. I mean, I still have that little eccentric side. I just put it into my music and my voice and whatever it is that I'm doing. But as a businessman, it's not about my music or my voice. In Mind Loop Studios, we have over 250 voiceovers. And I've said multiple times publicly, I'm not better than them. Some of them have 20 plus more experience than me. But for me, it was the ability to help clients on a one-on-one level, where a voiceover gets a brief from a production house. I am the production house. So I would convince a client to create a certain tonality for consistency and this and that. If people notice in the past few years, I no longer do advertisements other than InstaShop, shops you love, delivered better. That voice is designed for them. But then in Arabic, it's InstaShop, اطلبوا الآن. Or even like Nature Valley, be one with nature. But then the Arabic is Nature Valley, كون واحد مع الطبيعة. It's extremely well designed. So I market myself through my work and by genuinely collaborating with incredible agencies. I know I said I get a lot of work from direct clients, but that's mainly for sonic branding. When it comes to anything else, people know me. I mean, who the hell doesn't know me? I went viral multiple times. I didn't even try to. People insisted on covering me. I said yes. Some of them went good. Some of them not go as perfect. But I learned my lessons. I grew. And now I understand that at the end of the day, I pursue the fame less and I pursue the business more. Because you have to make decisions in life, concrete decisions, especially in marketing. It's not about me. It's about what I bring on board. The people that work with me and the people I take care of and the people I pay their salaries, these people depend on me. So one way or another, I'm going to get the business in. But when you look at the services, how do I market myself? Incredible freaking service, man. Like, honestly, ask anybody. My teams, whether the school or the product or Mind Loop, whether on the field or Mind Loop, my teams do a better job than me. My teachers teach voiceovers and speech and communication better than me. Yes, I taught them because it's my own vision. It's not about reading a script off a page. No, we have psychological and pathological elements. I got psychiatrists to help me write my programs for the school. So it's not like learning voiceover. It's about entering a completely new market and knowing what the hell to do and not getting ripped off by production houses. That's what we teach there. But then in Mind Loop Studios, my team, what we do is that the level of service, as we're talking right now at exactly 9 p.m., we are literally recording at the office back to back to back with so many agencies. And those are the love of my life. My team and my clients.
What are
Without
you
them,
doing?
there's nothing.
What are you doing other than voiceover, other than sonic branding then? What do you sell?
So voiceover services, all languages, all languages, even the unique ones like Kazakhstani, Russians. I mean, you name a language, we can probably get our hands on them. I formed a lot of relationships with the global studios and global production houses in order for me to expand the network in the Middle East and in the UAE for all of our clients who require unique tonalities and unique voices. I do not offer my voice personally. A client cannot book my voice. I get signed as an official voice of a brand, or I am not part of them. At the moment, I got signed as the official voice of Service My Car, CFI, the trading platform. CFI. What was the tagline? No, Hisham's gonna hate me. Hisham, I'm just for 1 second, in case you watch this, because I know he likes podcasts. Hey, CFI, empower yourself. It's like it's very designed. So I choose the brands that I work with, and I also have someone who allows or doesn't allow for certain brands to use me. So there's that. And then that, in terms of the production houses, we offer mixing, mastering, all the way to Dolby 7.1, 5.1, cinema mixing. We've worked with Netflix, Stars Play. Of course, I have my own show on it. We work with them. We help them as well on anything audio post-production. And in the school, we offer currently 3 programs. Full voiceover, which is 18 weeks long, including the equipment and the business side of it and everywhere in between. We offer speech and communication, which is also 16 weeks long, mainly designed for both CEOs and kids, ironically, to empower them in every way. And we offer audio production and post-production services, where basically we teach people who just finished university in SAE who are looking for an internship. Basically, my school is a modern internship. So On the Field Academy is the first of its kind, one-on-one, custom-made, tailor-made program. No classrooms, custom-made designs. It's basically like buying a Rolls Royce. You literally choose one of my Ferraris. I chose every single little tiny detail.
Yeah.
That's what we do in the school. We literally tailor to your deepest, tiniest details to help prepare you for years to come. Not just do this course and you're good. No. People pay us $15,000 to enter my school, and they have to earn to join the school. They can't just put the money on the table and tell me, Wallah, my daughter is so important. Bring her. Bring her. How old is your son? 9? Bring him. Let me meet him. Because at the moment, the board decides people who join the school.
Yeah.
And I'm currently the board. Hi, I'm the board. So, yeah, and I have the teachers. So across these 2 companies, that's what we do. And in terms of me, Sonic Branding is the only product that I do from A to Z. Nobody touches it. No freelancer, nobody. Sonic Branding is 100% handled by me personally from A to Z. And as of now, I have an incredible acquisition that's on the way with the biggest Sonic Branding agency on the planet, who have made me managing director and co-owner in the entire Middle East. You'll hear about it very soon on Campaign Middle East and others. And it's gonna, we're gonna kill it. Because they're already massive. All I can say is, you know the music for Coca-Cola? Obviously, right? You know SNCF? Very famous. You know the music for Samsung, the music for Barcelona, the football club. You know the music for Renault, or the music for Paris Airport. They've done all of that. And now I get to say I'm their owner in the Middle East. So it was a natural thing. So together with my regional expertise and their global expertise, yes, I won't be composing like before, 100%. But dude, I have 100. I'm done. I'm good. Freaking hell, even Hans Zimmer uses some people sometimes.
Yeah.
But if a brand requires my touch, then of course I take that on board.
Yeah.
A lot happening. Way too much.
Good stuff, man. How important is personal branding, you think?
It's the make or break, my dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, just don't be cringy about it. Don't be demanding. Don't be, excuse my language, everybody. And I genuinely do apologize because I don't usually swear a lot, but I genuinely like him. So the normal me is coming out, which is rare. And yeah, just don't be, I mean it. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. I have 17,000 followers. You think I have 17,000 dirhams in my account? You want to check? You want me to open it? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It genuinely goes down to what you want to master across any platform, whether social or offline, through networking. At the end of the day, the number one most important thing to do self-branding is to be yourself. First and foremost, that is your base. That is your minimum. That is your rien. Ici, il y a rien. So what are you going to build from there? Where's your foundation? Who are you?
I'm telling you because I do personal branding. I invest in personal branding.
You've done a pretty good job.
Say again?
You've done a pretty good job.
Thank you. And I know that most people don't invest in personal branding.
No.
So instead of me always telling them how important it is, how important is it?
It's extremely important, Bassem.
How important?
It's important to the point where if you don't allow other people... Okay, it's very simple. I'll put it like this. You are not responsible for how other people view you. Whether they like you or dislike you is none of your business. Okay? It's none of your business in any way, shape, or form. You are responsible for yourself, how you see yourself, and how you talk to yourself. If you begin your journey not saying, oh, I'm going to do this, it's fine to believe you can do whatever. But if you start lying to yourself purposefully while being fully aware or having the power of awareness, knowing that you're lying to yourself, you're going down a road that no matter how much money you make, it will never fill your heart. For me, knowing actual rich people in Dubai, I'm broke as hell. I'm not talking based on someone who does a 9 to 6 or whatever. I'm talking real rich people, the people I've met, especially in marketing. I'm not going to name a few, but I'm sure you know them. They own everything. And they're all Lebanese. When I sit down with them, yes, I'm a quarter of their age, sure. But they inspire me, sure. But at the same time, I could have stopped doing sonic branding and offloaded it to 1,000 people. No, I did it by myself until this particular company said, we want to acquire you. I'm like, okay, now's the time. So with personal branding, you have to understand the power of patience. People think that doing something or investing in it is going to bring them immediate returns. But yet again, they put their money in S&P 500, they put their money in Apple and wait for 15 years.
Yeah.
But when it comes to themselves, they need to... A guy takes a girl out to dinner, gets her dinner, gets her a few drinks and expects the world back. How pathetic. How pathetic.
So
where's the maturity in any way?
You're saying that personal branding takes time and...
Time, structure, planning, strategy, and the help of good friends. And I'm talking real friends.
How important and why? So why is it important? To you, from your perspective, from what you've seen, maybe not to yourself, because I don't know if you invest in personal branding. I mean, you probably...
I've never spent a single penny on PR, and I hope I die if I'm making this
so
up.
that's what I was going to say. Like,
Not even a penny.
You're getting a lot of PR, free PR. So, of course, you see the benefit.
Yeah.
And you've met a lot of people that do personal branding.
Yes.
How important is it?
It's extremely important. If you're in a position where you have to pay for it, do it right. Put the right message out. No matter how much you're going to pay them, no one's going to publish information about you that it's not really who you are. Marketing is about exaggeration. The whole point of marketing when you're selling any product, it's about exaggerating something that might be good, right? But we make it look a lot better. For me, I am not the most important voice in the country, but I am the most famous. And I got there because I understood what made me different. It's all about the difference. Look at sriracha, the chili sauce. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. It's sriracha. I don't know.
Sriracha.
Sriracha, yeah. It's amazing. I mean, there's a billion, zillion, trillion hot sauces, but something about that unique mixture, that unique taste, the bottle and the green on top, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Every time I hold them, like, yeah.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
Nice. You know? So it's about how to build yourself to be a certain thing. When I get stopped on the street, someone, I don't know, knows me from social media or whatever, or maybe met me somewhere, whatever. It's like, oh my God, you're, I'm like, yeah, and? Oh my God, you're so easy to talk to. You're so humble. What are you talking about? Just a human being. What the hell are you?
You said you're not the most famous, but you're the most known. You're not the most, what did you say?
I'm not the best, but I'm by far the most known.
How?
That's branding.
How? What did you do?
With the support of a lot of important people, a lot of important people, by standing out and coming and joining the entire force from a different perspective, by understanding that throughout all of the services that we offer, or I offer, or whatever the case is, it always went down to the element of innovation. Look, it's all subjective. Someone can look and be like, oh, what you did is not that big of a deal.
Not because of marketing, though.
Huh?
Not because of marketing
Not
or
me
branding.
personally. Not me personally. No, for me, like, okay, I've done a bunch of podcasts the past few weeks. Super honored to be here with you, only because you understand precisely what I'm talking about, which is very refreshing. But at the same time, I've got a bunch of interviews. I've got a human. Do you know Forbes Middle East, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick it up. Next 2 weeks, just pick it up.
Okay.
Pick up the magazine. Okay? You can't pay yourself through that one. Not that I paid ever, but especially this one, you can't. So enjoy the story. I'm not gonna say anything.
No? What's happening on Forbes?
I'm 29. I thought I wasn't gonna make it. I made it.
What did you make?
30 under 30.
Really?
In the top 10 as well. I'm
Awesome, man.
on the cover.
And now it's being released next week.
2 weeks, yeah. So
30 under 30.
hopefully by the time this interview is out.
How much did you pay for it?
So I lost this leg. This is not a real one. I had to sell the other. Nah, man, I had to really work really hard.
That's awesome, man.
And the way they chose me is exactly the point that I'm trying to make here. It's about self-awareness, man. Just being aware of what you're doing and the impact it has. Whether people know about it or not is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, because at one point they will, as long as your work is out there. For me, because I do a lot of my work personally, like say, for example, PlayStation. We have the account in the Middle East. So all of the ads or TV commercials you see for PlayStation with the Arabic dubbing and whatever, Mindloop Studios has done that. Every single one of them, Mindloop has done them. And if you look at other brands like Unilever, most of Unilever products are the voiceovers are done with us. We get them every single voiceover for many years. So these are the kind of clients that do not require me to market myself. These are people who are looking for a supplier. I act as a supplier. But when you're looking for an artist, that's when people start getting to know me. But if I open up my Instagram right now and show you how many people are asking to use my voice, I can literally show you right now. It's crazy. We'd like to use Ahmad for this. We're like, I'm off limits. But we can get you hundreds of voices to choose from. Wink, wink. Business.
Yeah.
I don't want them to use my voice.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to give it to them. People don't understand. They think I'm joking. I'm literally not allowed to give you my voice. So please understand.
Why not?
I can't tell you. I'm just not allowed to. I'm representing certain things.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah.
a reason why. You think anybody can just leave it there, man? Like, my voice is nothing. Makes me no money. Most of the, like right now, you're gonna start hearing my voice in what's it called? The Festival City brand, Dubai Festival City, the Dubai Festival Plaza, and more. My music when you're walking through the mall, my music on their signature sounds, my music on their phone, my music on their this, my music. The whole brand's gonna be scored by me, and my voice. I don't. It doesn't make any money for me. I never wanted it to make me money. Imagine this: we're talking marketing, right? Okay, I'm selling this product for, say, $1 million dirhams to this client. Okay, this product I have zero cost on it. Okay. And then the client says, okay, and I'm going to need you to do X, Y, and Z. The value of X, Y, and Z is around, say, 30 or 50,000 dirhams. You're not going to go and ask them for 50,000 dirhams. You're going to be like, that's a gift. And they're going to be like, oh, that's so nice of you. Of course, I have to get certain approvals, but once I have them, I'm allowed to do that. And I go and I do that. So right now, I'll give you the premiere here because I think they're going live this week, but I'll read you some of them so that people can associate that to the podcast that you so kindly put me on. So here you go. This is Futem, and what you guys will be hearing, or I think it's already live. I don't know. We just delivered a few days ago. Please allow me to find the script. Just a few more seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to put you on hold. Remember that vacation that you always liked? Remember that girl? My God, she was special, wasn't she? But you're no longer with her. And that's because you weren't meant to. So get over it and become the best version of you. I found them. So here we go. Here's English. Welcome to Dubai Festival City Mall. For the safety of all of our guests, please do not sit within the Festival Bay area. If you are currently sitting on the ground, please stand for the well-being of all of our guests. Thank you. But then check the Arabic. That's what I designed for them. مرحبا بكم في دبي فestival سيتي مول من أجل سلامة جميع ضيوفنا بلا 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 شكرا لكم. It's the way I deliver certain things that is I have a signature voice. It's insane. Like for example, when you take any of the announcement ones that I'm allowed to talk about, such as Dubai Opera, for example. Thank you, Ahmad. Love you. When you listen to that, it's also the same thing in a different way. Have you been to Dubai Opera?
No.
Have you been to Dubai Opera? Yeah? Okay, well, can you just tell me if you recognize this? A little bit of water, I'm sorry. Yeah, oh my God. I'll tell you where I will make an exception. Cartoons, like Rick and Morty style. I would love to do that because I want to get into acting eventually. But right now, business. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dubai Opera. An usher will be guiding you to your seats. Please remember, do not use your phone at any given time, as the flash bothers the performers. Something like that. And then in Arabic, السيدات والسادة مرحبا بكم في دبي أوبرا يرجى العلم. So, really, to me, it's to be able to help a client in a way where it's not about my voice, it's the years of experience I've gathered and the delivery of it. And all of this unique tonality composition of my voice started because I became a sonic branding specialist. Because I could design out of billions of instruments and different tonalities, I could design a certain 4-second melody. I could do the same to my voice.
Yeah.
So my vocal range is based on my musical range, which is based on my human range, which is based on why I can look at you and tell you I love you, man. Even though I just met the guy. I love him. Rare. Like, guys, watch my podcast. When do I swear? Find one podcast. I'm going to tell him to cut some of these out anyway. But it's too much. I might get in trouble. But genuinely, it's energy. ما له علاقة. Whatever you feel today, you may not feel tomorrow. Whatever you felt before, you may not feel now. But how you feel about yourself at the end of the day, that's what you need to understand. So when you say you want to market yourself, how do you feel by yourself before the business? How do you feel when you're alone? You know how I feel when I'm alone? I feel lonely. I don't know why. I'm so used to this high octane life that when I'm alone, I'm just shit. Can't keep a relationship for more than a month or two. Can barely have time to see my friends. Barely time to see my own brother who lives in the same country. Working 16 to 17 hours on a daily basis. Literally without exaggeration, including weekends. But do I enjoy it? I enjoy every single bit of it. But who am I when I'm alone? That's what you ask yourself. That's how you represent yourself at the end of the day. Because if you don't do that, how are you gonna go on a boxing match if you haven't practiced every single technique that you can come up for yourself? When a good trainer comes to you, the first thing the trainer asks you is, what do you think you should do? Not here's what to do. That's what we do at the school anyway. People are like, wait, we paid $15,000 for you to ask us what we should do? Yes. Hell yeah. It's called unlocking potential. Not creating yet another sheep following the same thing, another similar business model. If I wanted to be rich, actually rich, I'd go into any other business. Imagine me in real estate. I could be a mogul. You think I can't raise $5-10 million from some VCs with my personality? Pennies. But no. I chose my passion. So the first thing to actually freaking brand yourself, be passionate for real. Not when you go to people, I believe I'm passionate. Be passionate. For real, be passionate. No matter what, at the end of the day, it's you have to let yourself take over. Really. Like car switch. Car switch. Let us take over. Car switch. خليها علينا. But you know the melody, the ta-ta-na, that's the sonic. My voice is after. So without that music, my voice don't matter. So when you hear the ta-na-na, ta-na-na, car switch, let us take over. You see how the whole thing goes together, that's called sonic branding. So, and it's not a jingle, okay? So, yeah, I don't do jingles. No. So, to me, that's the main element of marketing yourself or doing some form of self-branding. Just talk to yourself first, for real. And stop thinking of the money. It's pathetic.
That's
If-
the way, yeah?
If everyone just keeps thinking about the freaking money, it's pathetic. I'm not saying people don't have situations, people with families and kids and wives, none of my business. I have no opinion and I'm not entitled in any way to give my opinion.
To judge, yeah.
In any way. I'm single most of the time. So with that, it's different.
Fully agree. For the sake of time, we gotta end it.
Let's do it.
Anything else I didn't ask you?
I believe. Wait, remind me. No, I forget. I come up with stuff very quickly, but I forget stuff.
You come up with a lot of stuff, man.
I really hope I made this interview worth your time.
Yeah. For sure. I want to watch it again.
Honestly, I don't know.
I zoned out a lot, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you took me places. You're that type of person. You just take people on journeys, man. So I'm gonna definitely watch it again. Take my time to watch it. Yeah, man, pleasure meeting you.
I believe everything to an extent. You know, I dislike the sentence everything happens for a reason because it gives people entitlement to who they are or who they think they are. I believe things happen the way that they're meant to happen at the right time. I believe timing is an incredibly important thing and that's why you should chill the hell out. But if you're not lucky, if you're not a lucky person, and I've met lucky people, I've met unlucky people, I'm a lucky person. You have to understand that it, ironically, and I know how silly this sounds, but it goes down to love.
Yeah.
And the power of words. If you don't have love in your heart, I'm not saying give it to anyone. Hell, don't give it to anybody. You can be an asshole for all I care. But if you don't have love in your heart as an essence, like truly, if every single day is another monotonish day where you don't even get a chance to think between you and yourself, I'm not saying don't get excited about the food you want to eat. I'm saying look forward to what comes after. And if you don't do that, and I'm guilty of my own words sometimes, then you literally have nothing to look forward to. It's really simple. Basim, it's one life. I've practically died, by the way, so I can guarantee you this is it. There's nothing else. And with the world situation right now and how horrible it is, marketing was my savior. Music was my savior, to be more specific. It's all about being able to understand yourself on a multitude of levels, even when nothing makes sense. And even when you fully trust in another person, you need to trust in yourself a little bit more. Recently, a good friend of mine, if you can allow me to end with this story, I think it might benefit everybody. A good friend of mine was someone who I allowed myself to rely on to an extent because they broke through every single barrier I had. And I allowed them in, really in, like deep as hell, like more than my last name. Remember, Haffar, digger. And it didn't end well. I wouldn't say it ended. I'm saying I would say it's still going, but it didn't. It took a turn to the worst. And when it did, I realized just how blinded I was by the goodness in the other person that I forgot to look for the bad. I believe that unfortunately a lot of people look for the bad so much that they forget to look for the good. For me, I unfortunately look for the good immediately and rarely think of the bad. I'm the kind of person who trusts immediately until proven otherwise. Of course, life has taught me otherwise, but I would say take your time and just relax. And I know how horrible it is, how horrible the world is right now, and how unfair and injustice in every single way. And I cry too. I'm a human like you, like anyone. It's just every single tear hits the leather in my Ferrari. It's horrible. I'm joking. A little bit of a laugh. Come on. Got serious for a second, right?
My man, good meeting you. Thank you for coming.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for
Do it
having me.
again. I got a cramp.